versus Fnatic. 1-0 currently to Fnatic as the red team this time around. This is the semi-finals of the playoffs. $100,000 up for grabs, and of course these teams fighting to see who can get to that grand finals. $50,000 for first place, $25,000 for second, and no slight for the third and fourth as well. It's $15,000 and $10,000 for that place. They will all be happening tomorrow. It will be the third and fourth place playoff first up, and the grand finals. The grand finals, of course, will be a best of 5 tomorrow. This is a best of 3. So will it be the final game for Fnatic, or will Evil Geniuses take it to a 3-game set?
Well, I hope it goes to that 3-game set. To be honest, we do have Evil Geniuses. They're going to go for an invade here. This is very typical of their style. They like to put a ward down at that Wraith camp just to secure, to make sure it stays there. Oh, Fnatic almost picked it up right there. Almost had enough attack speed. And EG's just going to back away.
Well, we saw the final shot not quite coming out from Peke. How is this going to work out? Are they going to switch the lanes around? They know that it's going to be Wicked, and it seems that they want Soaz against Wicked in that top lane. As I mentioned that, he may well be backing off, but he is going to see Wicked walking straight in towards that bush, and they have full vision. So, what will they choose to go here? Pink ward placed from Wicked in that bush.
So it leads me to believe that they maybe want to go for some early ganks in the top lane, and it actually would work out quite well as long as you can get that nice knock up onto Elise. But you know, Demon, look at this game in terms of set of best of 3, in terms of how LCS progress. If this is the last game in the series, what's a better way to have Wicked and Soaz finally go head to head?
Well, we will see. They want that 1v1 maybe, but he is not backing off. He keeps thinking about it, but not quite doing it. So Wicked's going to be given a Telelight. It's going to be Froggen giving the experience for that mid lane. He wants to hit level 2 first.
Yeah, the whole point of them sharing that camp is just so they both get really close to level 2, so they have an advantage over their lane opponents, and that will give them a nice advantage. And I mean, as we can tell, Froggen's going to need that against this Peke because of that extreme range that Caitlyn provides.
Cyanide is this time going to be taking his own blue, as will be Snoopy as he heads up towards that blue buff. As it stands, we see the bottom lane pings going down, so they know that it is going to be a 2v2 lane. How do these compare then? So it's going to be Varus and Alistar versus a Leona and Corki.
Before we get into that, because I want to say this before it happens, Krepo did get all the experience from the golems. He's almost level 2 at this point. They might go for engage.
Well, he has hit level 2 early. He is going to go for the engage. There's the pulverize and headbutt on towards Yellowstar. Is it going to be enough? The exhaust is already coming out. Are they going to try and delay this one? And now Yellow Pete's in trouble. He's going to get pushed back, but that's a great deal of damage put down on Yellowstar already.
Yeah, sorry about that. I just saw that coming because that's exactly what you want to do on an Alistar if you can hit that early level 2, just like with Leona, which we saw happen yesterday. And that was a great engage overall by Evil Geniuses just to try to push him out of lane. But in terms of how the 1v1 go, or the 2v2 I have to say goes, I'd have to give the over to Evil Geniuses because they just, actually no, I'll give it over to Fnatic because they have so much more damage early on.
Well, we see the junglers sneaking in towards the top there, double buffed up Snoopy, but also Cyanide is not too far away, just at them golems right now. Wicked pushing in, see if they can get something towards. So as Cyanide seems like he's ready and waiting to come at a moment's notice. I think we heard the ping there, Peke taking damage. That was the turret hit actually landing on Peke in that mid lane, but Wicked, he's going to try and shove this lane up, so it looks like Snoopy's going to try and go heavy here, and the combos landing on towards Peke early from Froggen.
And that's just Froggen's master of Anivia, and you see how well he plays it. I want to see his runes, because I know he likes to run attack damage runes sometimes on AP champions like Anivia, just so he can harass, but against like Caitlyn, I don't really assume he'd be able to do that too well. We do have Sunad. He is, as you can see on the top side, or top side of the minimap at that Wraith camp, is spotted by a ward, so Froggen's just trying to bait him out a little bit here, and it looks like both junglers are just backing completely away from that top side.
I'm guessing the damage that those basic attacks are doing to those minions, that tells me there's AD runes on there. Look how much damage, that looks more than a basic attack from me from a standard Anivia.
Yep. I mean, it works because it catches you off guard. Like when you're an AP champion, like say melee range or even just a normal AP champion in the mid lane, you don't really expect an Anivia to do that much damage early on with auto attacks, and Froggen likes to catch you like at level 2 or level 3 and go for an early kill.
Well, of course, he does prevent the shoving as well. Snoopy didn't go for that gank in that top lane, has rotated around, and he's around towards the middle lane area at the moment. The Wolves will be picked up. We do see this bottom lane Cyanide sneaking into the bush this time, but Pink Ward was used by N-Rated. He gets on towards Krepo, manages to lock him up. The Wither goes down, forces the flash out there. Is it going to be enough, or will we see the first blood coming out here? Krepo does manage to get the heal. One more shot. Can it be enough? Yellowstar's going to go a little bit deep. He's going to take 2 tower hits. Will that be too far? No, he just about survives the tower. He's going to come in the barrier. One more shot. He gets it. Hail of Arrows comes in. Yellow Pete picks up first blood. He can turn the aggression around on towards N-Rated, but he chooses to take his advantage. And what a great advantage it was, or was it just a sheer mistake from Yellowstar?
That was still ideally a great play out of Yellowstar because he baited enough turret hits, which I'm going to say it wasn't the ideal situation for him to get hit by so many, but he popped his red pot trying to get Uchisus to come back in while the Rifts team was still there to capitalize on it. Wasn't able to work, and a great play of Yellow Pete gets him that first blood.
Snoopy coming in for Peke now. He does manage to get the slowdown, dodges out of the rupture, and Peke should be able to avoid this one unless that stun comes in. Is it going to be enough? The tower died. He's going to turn around. The Piltover Peacemaker Dagger sends him into revive. And can he be able to avoid this one? Oh, he's going to see the flash. Snoopy's going to get taken by the turret. Pake picks up the kill. Froggen does get the revenge, but wow, a little bit of a dive too far from Snoopy.
And look what just happened though. Froggen ends up with that blue buff. It was just about to fade away from Snoopy, but he's able to get it, and now he's going to be a boss in lane. You know, the blue buff's going to be back up. He's going to have it falling off just when that happens, but Wicked getting a little bit of damage on this top lane, but just going to jump away.
So as repels in, tries to land the cocoon on towards Wicked, and Wicked's going to have to back away from this one. He has got health pots, but instead he's going to prefer to back away. So suddenly, the aggression happening across the map, and now we're seeing Evil Geniuses going in towards that bottom lane. They put the hail of arrows down on towards Yellowstar. He turns around, but you can see it's going to be N-rated diving in a little ahead of his AD carry there. The Pulverize comes in. Are they going to have enough to lock him up? That shield just about saving N-rated's life.
Thing is though, even with that kill Yellow Peak got, they're still equal on items right now. So it is still anyone's game in terms of how this laning phase goes, in terms of damage if they want to fight for it. Fnatic has a really strong team. They have a lot of mixed damage. And as you saw right there, they can really put the hurt onto UG.
Evil Genius is definitely looking more confident in the bottom lane in this 2v2 matchup. Meanwhile, Wicked in this top lane, he's been struggling a little bit against Soaz here. We've just seen him trying to fend himself off. He didn't back away, so he's just had to chug through those health pots. This time it may well just stick around that little bit longer. The Crystalline Flash coming out from Soaz, though, is starting to be used up. Peke returns to that mid lane, but you can see the fact that that ultimate is on him, the fact that he got that blue buff, he can clear those waves so much faster now with Peke.
He's definitely have a nice time against Peke here. And I want to go back to top lane just really quickly because we don't really talk too much about Zach since he's brand new. But, you know, his whole passive, like, Wicked's been at this kind of health range for quite a while, but that's just because he used an ability and picks it back up since you heal for a percent of max health, and your abilities cost a percent of current health.
Well, we see a bit of a counter jungling coming out here. Snoopy in towards the Wolves of Fnatic there. And we do see 3 members of Fnatic nearby, but they do know that Yellow Pete on his own right now. Crepo had just gone back to buy, so the ping went down on him, but successful countering coming out from Snoopy there, getting around those wolves. And Soaz is about to come around to see that blue buff. Are they going to maybe head towards that, or will they just let him have it?
They're going to let them just go ahead and have that in the end. There's no point in trying to give up sort of advantage you have. Froggen is already, you know, winning his lane. If he's not behind CS and he's up in kills, he's winning his lane in this situation. So I just want to make sure he stays, you know, stays fed, and maybe steal that blue buff off Expected because he doesn't have flash available anymore.
So blue buff has been given across, and now Froggen's being gifted the wraiths as well. The fact that he did get the blue buff, it means Snoopy's going to allow him to have that jungler. It's kind of what Snoopy really does. He just lets that mid laner take all of his. He's effectively that support jungler. Very different to, say, Svenskeren, who tends to be more the aggressor and would dive in there. Wicked, meanwhile, still under pressure from Soaz in this top lane. Falling behind a little bit in terms of CS. You can see 10 CS difference between them. Neither player has backed away, though, so it's simply brute force coming out from Soaz that's winning that lane.
That was such a smart play to Wicked, though. You attack the spiders that Soaz put down just to heal up a little bit more. I mean, that's a perfect play. Zach shows his mastery of them. And Evil Geniuses, I mean, they're looking like more of a, like in Season 2 in terms of let's get Froggen fed and have him carry the game.
Well, where is Yellowstar and N-rated heading off here? They're going in towards the mid lane and maybe going to triple stack on that as they know that Froggen is backing away to pick up that blue buff. Will they triple stack in that mid lane? No. They just took a trip up the river. They thought they'd go for a romantic walk.
Yeah, that's a little romantic, I guess, in the rift along that river, but they were just trying to go for an early kill to Froggen just since he didn't have his passive up anymore. He wasn't able to really escape. I guess he wouldn't escape anyways from that CC that he could put down, but they were spotted heading up the river anyways and by that pink ward in the end. So not working out too well, but, you know, they weren't really under threat of anything either since the wave wasn't even pushed up towards a turret.
Well, ace in the hole used by Peke there. Of course, he has got that blue buff on, so the cooldown is going to be reduced, and he's going to be using that every little chance he gets. He's also going to farm out those wraiths as well, so both players on max farming right now, but we do see the cocoon go. Wicked's in all sorts of trouble. He ignites down. Is it going to be enough? He got to his turret, and he will survive because he's going to reform himself, and Soaz, though, really winning out that engagement so far in that top lane.
Those Blobules have 4 eyes, but Zach only has 2. That's a little interesting. But anyways, yeah, it's a good job of him just to get back to that turret from there. I told you, my mind works really weird sometimes.
It definitely does.
but he still has his flash available, still has Ignite, but so has...
They're going to look in towards that dragon. They do manage to out-pink them, but you can see N-rated, he's going to come around. And the pink ward from Cyanide will be placed, and now clear that back out. So the pink battle has begun. I believe it's 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a pink war, as Crepo has dying for me to say on stream.
And he's proven in the past that he's a champion when it comes to that. He always takes personal offense to that when he sees someone put a pink ward down against him. but we'll see how it works out in the end. Dragon obviously wasn't gone for there by either team. And we've seen, you know, Diamond Prox in a situation when he gets a Nasus at level 6, he goes for a very early Dragon because that ultimate just shreds through the health of Dragon.
Well, Evil Geniuses are pushing the bottom lane. They are only about 700 gold up. Very close this game. A little bit more action-packed as well. I do believe we're going to see something happening around that Dragon within the next moments. Crepo just lingering off the side there. Yellowstar, he is definitely losing out this lane against Yellow Pete so far. 87 to 63 CS. Vampiric Scepter being picked up by Yellowstar, of course, did go back. That farm is going to equalize itself just a little as that wave that's been shoved up against him will get cleared out. Yellow Pete, though, is, well, with that Bilgewater Cutlass, he's just gone back to buy. Definitely going to be stronger if the Dragon fight were to happen, but we can already see Cyanide going in, Diamond Pro X-esque here, going in at level 6 and starting off and just soloing out that Dragon.
Should go to pick it up quite easily, even had expected to come down if they need, but the bottom lane of Fnatic will be heading up to help this Dragon. They knew that Frog was back and away, so like, hey, it's a perfect time to go for it, give him a nice little bit of an early goal lead, and we saw VGC's last game pick up the first two Dragons. Oh, Snoopy trying to go for it.
Snoopy tried to get in there, he flashed in, engaged, but the question is it going to be enough? Wicked's going to launch himself in, he comes bouncing around and it's flubber time on towards N-Rated. The exhaust gets down on towards Wicked. The rest of Evil Geniuses are collapsing around it. N-Rated is going to get taken down.
Wow.
It's so Wicked that picks that kill up. Now they're chasing on towards Peke. Chain of Corruption comes out. He cleanses it out and flashes the stun at Froggen. But they're going to flash through and chase. Can they get another hail of arrows down? It doesn't matter. Peke is going to get taken down by Froggen. Well, Evil Genius is going very, very deep for that one. They may well gift the top tower to Soaz, but wow, what a return. Let's not forget, though, Dragon picked up by Fnatic, Tower picked up by Fnatic. The gold advantage is still with Fnatic.
Yes, it is, and Evil Genius has committed so much there to really help, or to have that fight happen. You saw Snoopy flash over the wall, and it looked like certain death for him, but with Wicked coming from the side, it was able to keep him alive. And of course, the bottom lane of Evil Genius is coming up. Great play of them to kind of turn that around, but like you said before, they're going to lose a turret off it. They lost Dragon. At least EG was able to make up for it by picking up the bottom turret.
So, towers start to drop, and the gold is just 200 or 300 between them right now. So, N-Rated, he's going to hold the lane out here, so Yellowstar can get back down and join him, and he's going to farm out that wave. Where is Soaz going to go? He's starting to look around. He's pushed that lane in enough. Do you think he's going to stick around in that top lane, be that split pusher, or will he start being a nuisance? Oh, blue buff still possibly coming out here from Evil Geniuses. Peke just off the side. He's going to try and pilt over Peacemaker, steal this one. The Yellowstar also there. Evil Geniuses realize they're not really in a situation to fight for this one. They're going to allow them to have it.
Yeah, blue isn't really that key for Fnatic to have in the end anyways. It doesn't really benefit Caitlyn too much. It's all about Evil Geniuses controlling their own blue buff, which we see right now on the minimap that Soaz did ward up. They want to keep that off of Froggen to keep him down a little bit in the game, and during that last entire engagement we saw Froggen picked up a kill and Wicked picked up a kill, so they got a nice amount of kills onto the carries. Wow, Froggen taking heavy damage right there.
Froggen taking a lot of damage, but as is Soaz, the ultimate coming out from N-Rated there, but Crepo just sidestepping up from it, and Fnatic, they're keeping the pressure on this mid lane.
Yeah, it did the damage. It's pretty much going to force Crepo to back away, or at least Froggen to back away, because they don't have the health to really sit in this lane, but Yellow Pete did come up from bottom lane, so they are going to be able to hold this turret down.
Well, the top lane also being pushed up there. Wicked's gone very deep in there, and looks like Soaz is going to try and come around the backside of him. He fancies a piece of him here. He's going to go in. He's only got a Spirit Visage, Wicked. Let's see how much damage he can put down on Elise. Elise famously very strong, but you can see that let's bounce as he gets away. The cocoon does land, and now Soaz, he's going to try and turn it around. Snoopy is coming up there, but as is Yellowstar, and that's a battle neither of them want, and they're going to both back away.
Oh, such a great cocoon, because it actually caught the jump and put it on a reset right there. Not able to pick up the kill, but it just shows, like, Soaz on Elise right now with the items he has was able to just power through that Spirit Visage that Wicked has.
So it is going to be the blue buff handed across to Froggen once again. So vital, that blue buff on Anivia. As it is a Peke, he's going to clear out that wave, and the farm he's keeping very much up with Froggen. Froggen having to go with that build we saw yesterday, of course. He's gone with that Boots of Swiftness along with the Rod of Ages coming up shortly, and of course stacking out that Tear of the Goddess.
Yeah, and speaking of Tear of the Goddess, we see Yellowstar, he picked up one very early on. Last game we saw him pick it up, well, actually when he had a couple of items built already, had his Triforce done. So that kind of shows that he's a little bit behind in lane. He wants to have the extra mana so they can get some, extra damage in with those missiles before they go for a heavy fight. And we'll see how it works out for him in the end.
Damage being stacked out also by Peke. He's got that Sword of the Divine as well. Sorry, it's an Average Blade online.
Yeah, it is Average Blade. It's a GP10 item, gives you 3 gold per 10 seconds, and also gives you extra 2 gold for minions killed. It's a very good item, to be honest, and we saw Genji kind of popularize it towards the middle of LCS, but he's kind of strayed away from that item build.
Yeah, it's definitely something. Bloodthirst almost completed by him. And how is this going to compare? So when the team fights kick off, when they start happening, of course, if Fnatic do win out quite well, the fact that they've got this 2 AD carries, they're going to be able to push those turrets very, very quickly.
I'm looking at it in terms of a late game situation, so expect he's going to build a static shiv with that, so help him clear waves really quickly. He'll have his Q to eat through the wave with that, then also have the damage out of Leona and Corki. So they're going to have really good ability to stop any pushing that happens into them, and also gives them good power for and good potential for split pushing if they want to go for it. Because you have Soaz trying to go head-to-head against Wicked here. As we saw last time, he should be able to win this trade out.
He does seem to be forcing the trade out, and the ultimate is available for Wicked, but he doesn't want to use it. Cyanide, of course, spotted out there and just launches himself away. He can't. Not so much he doesn't want, he can't win that fight. It's as simple as that. But this is the battle I'm interested in. Frog and Peke. The fact that Froggen has kept up the CS, has managed to survive through the lane phase against Peke.
One thing, see what I like is that you can wall off Caitlyn, but she can 90 caliber net away from it.
Yeah. So
she won't be caught anyways. Like that's the whole idea of her, is that you cannot catch her unless you have someone flash it and silence her or something like that, but she has cleanse flash to get away, so she'll be relatively safe in these fights and has the range to just harass them down. And just with 80, having 2 AD carries late game versus 1 is just so strong. You don't really need an AP carry in this situation. However, Soaz, since he was ahead in lane, he was winning his lane, he's building ability power right now. He's going to hurt so much as these fights start to kick off, as you see him go head-to-head against Wicked again.
Once again going head-to-head, this time Enraged is around the side, he's going to catch out, but Wicked just about dodges, he lets bounces away, and that was so close to spotting out there. So quick reactions from Wicked to avoid that stun.
Yeah, that was a great job. In the meantime, I see Stupid trying to go for a gank on this bottom lane. Yellowstar, though, seems like he has a silence flash to get away, so she'll be relatively safe in these fights and has the range to just harass them down. And just with 80, having 2 AD carries late game versus 1 is just so strong. You don't really need an AP carry in this situation. However, Soaz, since he was ahead in lane, he was winning his lane, he's building ability power right now. He's going to hurt so much as these fights start to kick off, as you see him go head-to-head against Wicked again.
Once again going head-to-head, this time Enraged is around the side, he's going to catch out, but Wicked just about dodges, he lets bounces away, and that was so close to spotting out there. So quick reactions from Wicked to avoid that stun.
Yeah, that was a great job. In the meantime, I see Stupid trying to go for a gank on this bottom lane. Yellowstar, though, seems like he has it smelt out.
Yeah, he's not falling for it. Hasn't got any wards, but he's definitely feeling something's up. He's thinking, well, if that jungler's there's the rupture. Gives his position away, and the other side's like, nope, not going for this one. But Cyanide's close by, and we do hear the pings of a chunk of damage going down. That was simply Soaz taking a little chunk in there. Peke, of course, throwing his ult ace in the hole. He's got that ready and waiting to go now. So will he go back on Frog? And he seems to be using it every time he's gone cooldown.
See, one thing I want to point out is that he's been using it every time on the Froggen, like right off the cooldown, because he wants to push him out of lane. But the problem is, because Frog was able to get that early kill, he was able to get his catalyst relatively early on, so it didn't matter. No matter how many times this Peke would use that ultimate, he would already heal that back up from that. Frog was able to get that early kill. He was able to get his catalyst relatively early on, so it didn't matter. No matter how many times this Peke would use that ultimate, he would already heal that back up from that. So he shut him down in that sense. We do see Dragon being started. This will be Evil Genius' first Dragon of the game. If they do get it, Fnatic not in position to stop this, and it should be a free Dragon for EG.
Yeah, Yellowstar and Soaz are both back to base, so it does look like Evil Geniuses are going to take this Dragon away. And that is going to pull the goal. 24.9, very close, 24.2. Froggen caught out by the 90 caliber net there. Wasn't sure whether Leona was maybe thinking of diving into that one. Ace in the hole will come out as well, but that's Wicked blocking that one off.
And we have to point out that Wicked's 1-0-1 at this point, so even though he's behind in CS, he's actually ahead in gold. Let it be 20 gold at this point, so he's been leaving a little bit of a big power himself, going for that Leanders, which you talked about Soaz saying was so strong on him, and we'll see how that works out. And the thing is, they have a good team, so if they wall someone off that's not Caitlyn, they can just combo that completely with Alistair, combo with Cho'Gath, combo with Zac, and they'll be able to burst you down. So it's really up to Fnatic to stay out of that position and not get caught.
Well, Evil Genius is stacking up on towards this mid turret. They will take it down. Second turret of the game for them. And that means they are starting to win out the map here. Oh, and the snipe coming out from Yellow Pete. He got it. Very well played there, Yellow Pete. Just in a drive-by, throws out that spear or arrow, whatever you like to call it. It's a rather large arrow if it is just a singular arrow, but he managed to land it regardless. And now we see the rupture coming out from Snoopy. Peke dives there. Wicked dives into this one. Froggen's going to come up as well, but is Wicked going to dive in time? Remember, he will be able to regroup and form himself, and it does look like the rappel's going to come out. He's going to go back towards Soaz. And he avoids it. How the hell did they not fall for that juke? And Froggen gets caught by a cocoon. Soaz walks away like a boss.
Holy crap! I mean, yeah, exactly. You saw the blob in the range of his rupture. We do see the engage happening though.
Chain of Corruption lands in his. Cyanide's going to be the target. The Headbutt Pulverize has already been cleansed off the ultimate there. Cyanide's going to be the focus. One more shot. You can see the Berserker Greaves. The Berserker Greaves. Where the hell did that come from? The exhaust on there. Peke's going to be the focus. Crepo's going to get vision of him. One more shot from Yellow Pete. It should be enough. He does manage to land him with a hail of arrows. Now Enrated's going to get caught out. Froggen focusing on him here. He's going to get stunned up, but he should be able to have his combo available. Dodges out of it. Enrated sidesteps. He's going to have one more chance at this one. He's going to turn around, stun him up. Froggen picks up the kill. While that's all happening, tower's going down. You can see Yellowstar in the bottom of your screen. He's pushing on the bottom wave. You can see Wicked in the top lane. He's shoving in the top lane. And now Yellow Pete comes around the side. And Yellowstar quite happily suicide into that tower. And now Soaz, he's going to get collapsed in. Back and forth the action goes. Soaz gets locked up completely by Evil Geniuses. And they have just snowballed in the last minute to a 7-1 kill ratio, stretching their goal to 2,000.
And wow, I can't even remember how that fight completely broke out as we saw in the top lane, but yeah, we saw Yellowstar in the bottom lane. He was being chased down, died to the turret, got some damage onto it, but of course, Evil Genius' Froggen catching it out, and right there, even going towards the top side to get this turret. It's very low at this point, but still, like you just said, like the snowball they just got from that was insane. However, the gold lead's still at 2,000. It was like that before. It hasn't really changed too much, though we have a lot of gold to spend on every member of Evil Geniuses. We can take a look at that. 2,400 on Yellow Pete, over 1,000 for the rest of the members, even Wick with over 1,500 currently.
The main difference is the fact that Evil Geniuses carries were the ones that are picking up the kills. Froggen managed to get kills in there. Yellow Pete, again, stretching his lead. Peke's coming around here. May get caught out. Can he get the pulse over? He got the steal. Very well played. Turns it around in reaction to Yellow Pete's steal earlier on. Peke comes in, just takes that away and strolls off.
That was a good steal, to be honest. You're keeping Froggen down. If he doesn't have that blue buff, you can't really hold off pushes that well. And now they're going to be able to respond with a turret here because the rest of Evil Geniuses was backing and healing.
Yeah, now they're going to be able to get this inner turret down. That is a big turret as well to take down. So Fnatic, it will be their 4th turret of the game if they get it. And of course, with that double AD combo, they should take it very quickly. And that's just what they did. Now they're backing down towards the mid lane. They're going to stack out, see if they can steal away the red buff. It's not there. They're going to move on down and pick up that giant wave of farm down there and keep the lanes cleared.
And look at the score right now in terms of gold. It's about 1,000 difference when it's 7-1 up in turrets for Evil Geniuses. They have 3 turrets to 4, and they're tied on dragons. Like, that's just ridiculous how close this game really is. And it's only 22 minutes in as Evil Geniuses are responding, trying to go for a mid push themselves. They're
going to try and shove it up. They know that Soaz is down the bottom. They gave his position away. He can either back up or try and catch them out. It looks like Fnatic are going to try and close the dragnet here. Yellow Pete's not with Evil Geniuses, so they may be able to just do this one. The rupture comes out.
So
red
close.
buff, though, is going to get picked up by Peke, and he returns to the top lane. So Evil Geniuses have to reset their positions with Yellow Pete farming the bottom.
And right now, you mentioned earlier that the carries of Evil Geniuses got those kills. We see Yellow Pete, he's actually getting really close to getting his Infinity Edge. And when he gets that, the power, like the damage he's going to do is just going to be ridiculous. Obviously won't have the range, but as long as EG with their lamp that can lock up Fnatic, then it's going to work. Like, they have the comp to work for that. And even Froggen, who went for an Archangel Staff relatively early on with his Rod of Ages, and even went for Boots of Swiftness just for some extra speed, just so he can get away from the team of Fnatic. Not to mention the slows that team really locks you down with.
So let's look across the board. Very, very tight. Farm very close as well. You can see Froggen and Peke so close between them. Advantage for Yellow Pete right now, but that's obviously because there's 2 deaths for Yellowstar. You would expect him to fall 20, 30 behind from that, which is only 20. Advantage remotely with Soaz in terms of farm, but you can see is actually very close in gold. Just 60 gold between those two in the top lane. So very, very tight across the board. The support players, well, you can see Enrated. The fact that he went, I believe, with a GP10 item you gain, yes, he did, is where that difference in gold is over Crepo.
And the thing is, we can look at gold all day, but the real difference comes down to who has what items at this point in the game and how those items complement these champions. We've had blue buff stolen from Froggen, and we know how important blue buff can really be for him, but with the items he's picked up, Rune King done for Yellow Pete, the Infinity Edge almost done, so he has a % health damage. He's going to have % health damage from the Blade of the Rune King as well on top of that. And you look over on, Yellowstar, the gold's really close between them, but he only has a Blade of the Rune King, doesn't have anything else built up. He's still trying to stack up that tier at this point.
Well, Evil Geniuses are stacked around that blue buff. They have the timer on it, of course, because Yellow Pete did get the steal last time around. That is going to be given across. So important now, blue buff for him. But Fnatic are responding here. Yellowstar's pushing the top lane, Soaz in the bottom, and there's 3 members of Fnatic trying to shove down that bottom lane, and Evil Geniuses were not allowed to leave their back door open.
And you see Yellowstar on the top lane, he's pushing up right now. He has a turret actually about half health at this point, and he might be able to just sit here this entire time and be able to pick it up. As you can see on the bottom left of your screen, next mini wave is coming in. Wicked is coming around the side to help stop him, but we'll see if that actually works out.
They're running down towards Dragon. That has just respawned, and now we've got a ghost image of Yellowstar on your screen. And, well, he's going to be ready and waiting to go. But instead, he's just farming out that bottom lane. Soaz coming up here. Cyanide is close by as well. They want to maybe try and get the smite steal here. If Enrated can lock up, get that ultimate, he would be able to catch onto all the Evil Geniuses. Instead, they're not going to go for it. But you can see Yellowstar in the corner, continuing to push on towards that bottom lane. He's taken that inner turret. But now Wicked's on towards him. Wicked comes around. He should be able to lock up Yellowstar. Has he got enough? He's going to be able to Valkyrie across, but Wicked should follow. He's going to leap across. Is he going to charge it enough? No, look at that. The distance gained, because he has to sit and charge it up, was enough for that Valkyrie to work.
It was a smart engage by Wicked. He actually flashed into him to kind of get the engage going, because he knew Yellowstar didn't have that much mana. As he started there, he escaped with like extra 3-4 mana. He was able to reach enough just to Valkyrie over that wall. He did have flash able if he wanted to use it, but you know, that entire dragon fight we saw was so well done by Evil Geniuses. You saw Crepo just zoning the entirety of Fnatic that was around there just with his presence of that Alistair, and they're able to pick up their second dragon of the game. And now Advantage is done onto Yellow Pete. Saracen Brace is built up now for Froggen. This is going to be ridiculous when these fights start to happen.
So, gold is so tight between these. 500, that's all it is. 500 gold, 25.5 minutes gone. You could really split both teams with a knife right now. Knife through butter, maybe. Who knows?
A hot knife through butter?
Hot knife through butter?
Man.
That would split it pretty quickly.
and the thing is, like, it's that close. It's still just amazing to me with how different the kills are at this point. And you have to keep touching on just where the kills are, because when they start to break out, which Fnatic, or sorry, not Fnatic, Evil Geniuses can start to make happen, they're just going to walk right over Fnatic. However, we have to give them this, though. Fnatic, if they can hold on long enough, they have double AD carries, and that is just so hard to deal with if you're the other team.
And also, I'd like to point out the differences in builds the Wicked's going with here on Zac compared to what we just saw with Soaz. Soaz, as he mentioned, you know, the fact that it was 2v1, he had to go tanky. Wicked doesn't really need to do that as much. He's going for that Leandris, and he's going to be doing a hell of a lot of damage when the fights kick off.
Yeah, because actually, he doesn't really need to be honest, because they have enough damage with Anivia and to Varus, but what they want to do is, with him engaging, getting to the backline, they just want to blow up Fnatic, and with the squishy lineup they have with Caitlyn, with Corki, with, well, I was going to say with Elise, but she's going to be a little tanky eventually, they can blow them up very, very quickly, especially if they wall them off.
That's all about catching those stuns down, and Evil Genius is on that invade, trying to get away with that red buff, but instead they're going to turn towards its inner turret. Yellowstar is kind of tentatively defending this one. We also have Enrated and Peke coming through the jungle from behind, but that turret already gone, and Yellowstar having to Valkyrie away.
Look how fast that turret dropped too. That was just ridiculous with the damage they have. We do have the rest of Fnatic. They're trying to wait on the sidelines, trying to come in. If you see Leona on the right side of your mini-map, but they're not able to catch him here. And Evil Geniuses do have an Oracle, so they're going to gain complete control over the jungle of Fnatic, and this is not good for Fnatic. They have to be able to lock down their jungle. They're going to need an Oracle and a lot of words to just hold on to this.
Red buff has spawned, but that's going to get cleared very quickly, and that gets given across towards Yellow Pete. Fnatic at the moment, they are in defensive formations away from Evil Geniuses here. A complete reversal of the first game where Fnatic had complete control, and maybe that mental edge they have over that blue buff seems to work for Evil Geniuses because they just look so confident this time around.
But they're going to have to work past that, though, because if they do win this game, they most likely will be going back towards the red side. We do see Baron started right now by Wicked, and he has a % health damage. We do see, at least in the bottom lane, so as out of position right now, it looks like Fnatic realizes this. They're going to come up and try to stop it, but they don't have any wards down.
It's going to be a 5-on-4. They've got no vision.
Oh, look at Froggen.
Wants to come in, desperately tries to put that ward down. Froggen is in the death bush, and he's waiting to try and wall them off, stun them away from this one. He should be able to get it. You can see the Baron, it's only been taking down half health. They haven't really gone full tilt on that one. Instead, they're going to try and chase down. Can they get the wall on towards Cyanide? No. The ultimate comes out from Enrated and stops them dead in their tracks. Very well done there, and Froggen taking a hell of a beating from that one. Evil Genius is going to have to back away.
And you saw right there why those boots of swiftness are so amazing for Froggen, because he's the one that created the plays for the team. He's the one that's catching someone with this wall, and he's so fast with that combo he has, and they had to stop him with that Leon ultimate just to make sure he couldn't make that fight happen.
Well, as it stands, Fnatic do clear out that top wave, and Yellowstar picking up that of turret, 7-1 in kills, so that's going to give Evil Genius the confidence. They're going to feel they're way ahead right now, but actually it is much closer than it feels.
Yeah, it really is. And we do have Infinity Edge finally picked up for Xpeke now, so he's going to have a lot of damage behind him, and this is the items they needed. Like, this is what they're waiting for, just for him to get strong enough. Someone's eventually will be able to finish his Rylas, it looks like, to give him a huge chunk of damage. So these fights could go either way now once we get these final items completed.
Well, we'll see how it works out. Evil Genius is trying to set up another gank. This is exactly like Fnatic did to them in the first game. And look at that. It's a ward battle. Pink wards. And it's Fnatic that win that pink ward battle. They take away the raids, clear out the wave. They know that Evil Geniuses are in their own jungle. The cocoon gets thrown out. That pink ward, of course, giving them vision. Not quite landing the rupture either. And they do clear it out. Ace in the hole. That's going to get blocked off by Wicked, of course, with that around the end zone. And he just shrugs it off in his flubber. Yeah,
just exactly. I was thinking of something a little bit different there, but I mean, Fnatic, they're trying to hold them off of Baron, but as you see right now, EG is going to go for it. Fnatic doesn't have vision of it. If you look at the minimap, just look how much vision Evil Geniuses have right now. They will see anyone from Fnatic coming from a mile away, and there should be a free Baron for Evil Geniuses.
And they do work that one very well. Quickly picked up, and that is Evil Geniuses now with a big advantage. Sometimes you equate that Baron buff to like 4,000 or 5,000 gold advantage in terms of items. The buffs that it gives you works out so well. So that 3,000 gold lead is actually much bigger now than it would be for the next 4 minutes. Yellowstar quickly picking up that blue buff, and it had to be a very, very quick hit and run. You can see Snoopy's going to try and track him along there. Yellowstar did manage to take it away. That has been controlled by Evil Geniuses quite a lot, so that was quite a good bit of play straight away. Froggen tries to single out N-Rated, but he manages to avoid the damage. He's not really the focus target they want.
See, one thing Fnatic has in their favor right now, if Xpeke can get position, is they have great wave clear, so it's going to be hard for Evil Geniuses to really get this turret down in brute force. However, if Froggen gets a nice wall, say goodbye to whoever was trapped off because they were going to get exploded, and then that will be a free inhibitor turret for him.
See how quick Froggen's clearing those waves as well. They're throwing that ultimate down the back. He's got that Rabadon's death cap. There is the wall. The other star, of course, could Valkyrie away if he gets caught out from it. Spirit Fire getting thrown down and try and just clear it out. And look at that. Both teams, you see the pure power of wave clearing there. Ace in the hole comes back out. It's Crepo this time that blocks it off. He'll just heal and shrug that one off.
I think Evil Geniuses, they keep doing that. If they keep walling off one side of the turret, they're going to get enough damage onto it that it's going to die, and it forces Fnatic to just back away because they can't get the engage they wanted. Yeah, they can wave clear quickly, but with this Baron buff giving them Evil Geniuses this regen, it's really hard for Fnatic to be able to poke them down.
Yeah, they managed to take down half the hit points of that tower now, and you can see Crepo continually just healing well. The fact that he's got that Baron buff, those heals are going to be doing much more damage. They can sustain the way through this one. There's no heals for Fnatic, and they are slowly but surely chunking down that turret.
All right, this will come. Actually, this will go down. I have to say, this wave or the next. So it's really hard for them to not take. We do the top lane pushing up onto that turret as well. So after this one, they could go for it. And Rated trying to go for an engagement there, but misses the Zenith Blade. And now they're going to have to back away.
The rupture does land on towards N-Rated. And see, slowly but surely, look at that tower. It's almost gone. The combo landed on Cyanide there as well, taking some damage. And Froggen continuing just to keep them back. This time they are going to take the turret. And that is the inhibitor turret going down. That leaves the inhibitor exposed. And Fnatic all backing away from this one. They don't want this fight. They've sieged it off as much as they can, but EG not done yet. They're going to rotate round towards this top lane. They're going to throw that wall out and see how much they can keep them away. The rupture lands on N-Rated. It's N-Rated's ultimate that really will start the fight off for the Fnatic here, and this time Fnatic, they really do not want to lose their second inhibitor turret.
Thing is though, in this position, even if he gets a nice ultimate and he goes in with a Zenith Blade, Froggen can just wall him off and keep him there himself. Like he can, with this entire area you see between the turret and where they're coming in from, they can just wall that off, that choke point, and then they'll be screwed.
Peke's just been back. It's actually Cyanide that gets singled out there. Soaz does manage to take down Snoopy. Chain of Corruption comes back out. It's back and forth, actually. Wicked dives straight in there. Is it going to be enough? They should be able to get the damage down. The Flubber Bobs have been taken down. Crepo's also very low. You see N-Rated going in. He may well get dropped. The Ignite's running out there. Yellowstar going down to the Nivea's ultimate there. And now Froggen, he catches on towards Peke. Doesn't get the stun, and in comes Soaz. Sinks his fangs onto a Yellowstar. Then pelts over Peacemaker, comes back across. And Zonya's outcast from Soaz. He's going to flash, try and get out, but Froggen throws down the wall and escapes. But that was a very tight fight, and it's Fnatic that came out on top, defending off that turret against the Baron up Evil Geniuses. It was a 2 for 4 there in favor of Fnatic.
And we were talking about how far Evil Geniuses were and how they're trying to brute force this down, but we kept mentioning, don't worry, Fnatic, if they get this game going long enough, they'll be strong enough to just take down Evil Geniuses. You saw right there a 2 for 4, like you said, against a Baroned up Evil Geniuses. That is just ridiculous and a smart and a great play out of Fnatic, and they should be able to capitalize off of this. It's going to be picking up a couple more items as well very soon.
Very, very tight fight there, but again, Froggen avoids it. Froggen gets away. 4-0-2. Now he's got that Void Sap as well. He's going to be doing a chunk of damage if he manages to catch and stun on anyone. They will be dead. So very, very difficult play now for the two AD carriers, Peke and Yellowstar, in this game. They have no magic resist at all, really, built up. Simple Mercury Treads is not really going to be quite suffice for Yellowstar. And the Runic Bulwark, of course, from Cyanide, but it's not going to add a great deal.
This is not good for
Peke. It's going to be Peke getting caught out. Look at that damage straight away. But Froggen, he's caught in a Piltover trap there. He's going to try and catch on towards it. The trap's not going to work enough. Peke gets called out. The wall will come out. The control from Froggen is going to be enough. And you can see the damage, and he just lays down there. Just a simple combo takes him straight out.
Just as you mentioned, no one Fnatic really having magic resist. You see what can happen right there. Froggen just blew him up, took away over half his health with just one combo. And now they're able to push this top turret down a little bit. I mean, we have to remember, it's about 40 minutes in. The respawn timers are extremely long. Expect it's still down for 40 seconds at this point, and so many things can happen in that time.
Yeah, Evil Genius is looking like they're going to try and take advantage and just shove straight along that top lane. Remember, Froggen still did have that Baron buff. It has run out now, and he's going to be pushing in towards that top wave. He's got a blue buff on there as well, so the mana's not going to be an issue. They're going to keep on chunking through there. They've got enough to really tank out this turret as well. Wicked with that Randy Omen. You can see the Aegis Legion, of course, on Snoopy as well. They are going to move in. There's not a great deal of damage, but Froggen's taking a big hurt there, and you can see they're going to try and keep poking it, but that's another inhibitor turret down. Evil Geniuses now 8-5 up in turrets, and that gold advantage, it's still only 2,000 gold. Still very close.
It's very close indeed, and we even see a lot more items being picked up for Evil Geniuses relatively soon. We have 2,000 gold on Yellow Pete. He's going to have his GA very soon. Froggen's passive hasn't really been proc since the first moments of the game, and he has that available, obviously, if he needs it. This game is still getting very close. Like, it doesn't even matter how far ahead Evil Genius is right now, because Fnatic, it's at that point where AD carriers will take over. They will do the damage, and they're getting the items they need for it.
So we'll see whether Fnatic have dragged this game out long enough to really do the damage. We saw in that team fight, really, how much it worked if those AD carriers can get in there. Let's not count Soaz out as well, because he has got a big chunk of ability power right now. You can see that. Zhonya's Hourglass on him, as well as the Randy Zone. He's going to be so hard to kill. Randy and Zoman, where did I pull that one from? I don't even know. Leandris is what I was looking at straight away. I don't know where even that came from. He's going to get the Rabadon's Death Cap as well in a few moments. And he's already been repelling out of those fights. He is so strong now, Soaz. He was really a lot of the difference in that last fight.
And the thing is, he can do what a Twisted Fate does, like what Messiah is known for with, ulti into the middle of a team and popping his Zonius. He did that same thing last time. We saw him just repel in. He would do some damage. He would Zonius, let the rest of his team catch up and just take them by storm. It's going to be really hard for Evil Geniuses to deal with this, but they still have such a strong comp. You have that knock-up sounds out of Cho'Gath. You have the double knock-ups out of Zac. You have the knock-up and the knock-back out of Crepo. Like, they have a really strong combo for this.
And the Guardian Angel has also been picked up by Yellow Pete. As you mentioned, he really could do with that. Knows how important he is to that fight. Snoopy now, he's completed the Randy and Zoman as well. So a very big tanky front line, but if they can pass that front line, there is a very squishy center. And if they can get in towards that, it will go down so quickly. The Baron will be spawning in 3 seconds time. Both these terms know it. Of course, it's going to be Evil Geniuses with the perfect timing on it, but Fnatic are aware that it will be happening very soon. The fact that they see Froggen with that Oracle clearing out the wards means they're going to start moving into position for it.
And Evil Geniuses, with that Oracle, they should be able to just bait Fnatic into this. However, Fnatic has some good, not coverage, but they have the ability to spot everything with the Repel, obviously, off Elise. They have the traps out of Caitlyn, and we have Froggen, with the Oracle himself, just trying to clear this vision away. We saw last time that EG went for a Baron, they had so much vision on the top side of the map. They saw Fnatic coming from a mile away, and they're trying to set that up yet again.
Oh, and they do manage to catch Snoopy out there.
Wow.
Look at that, the Fangs sink in. That's how much damage can come out from Soaz. He really did a chunk, considering he's got that Randy and Omen on him, he's got that Aegis of Legion, but it doesn't matter because it's ability power coming out from Soaz, and he just absolutely chunked him down. They maybe were thinking, well, it's about time we turn that into a Runic Bulwark.
Yeah, it might help quite a bit on him, because we talked about Soaz. Like, he had 300 ability power when you talked about him previously about having so much damage. He has 495 now, so the damage he does, considering its percent damage, is just ridiculous. And if he can chunk down Snoopy, who's arguably one of their tankiest members of the team, it's not looking good.
Thornmail being picked up by Wicked now. Of course, that makes sense against the double AD combo. And as he is the man that's launching straight in towards the center of them and into the back, it makes perfect sense. So realizing going with the situational play, Wicked sat staring down the Baron right now and thinking, can I do it?
I can take you.
I can take it. I can do it. I can do it.
I'm almost as tall as you, too. But it looks like they will go for it here. No one in Fnatic is really in position to stop this, and this should be another free Baron for Evil Geniuses. The bot wave is pushed up very hard right now, and they have to deal with that, but giving away a Baron is not ideal.
Not ideal at all, and that realizes Baron has gone, and that's the second Baron picked up by Evil Geniuses. But still the gold so close. He's just going to take down the red buff. Froggen really wanted to get around and take that one, but the ward spotted him coming.
And we have Fnatic actually picking up a Negatron poke right now, so he even realizes the power of Froggen with just the damage he has. Even Wicked, who does quite a bit, even though he's built relatively tanky in this entire situation, he has a good amount of penetration because he has a sword boots. You have to keep that in mind. Like, that gives him enough damage just based off his percent health damage off of his W, which is currently at 10% of their max health. So every time he pops that, 10% of their health's gone. If he can sit in the middle of Fnatic's team and use that, that is just ridiculous how much damage it's going to do in the entirety of a fight.
What is Yellow Star starting to build towards here? He's got his Mirror Mana in there completely. He's got to play the Rune King Bloodthirster and Last Whisper. Do you think he's going to go straight?
So, yeah.
He has no messenger, straight damage. Whereas we see Peke and Froggen actually both picking up Giant's Belts now.
I think he needs that extra damage. Like, he doesn't have the ability to get in really close, so he wants to shred through the people that are close to him, and he has the Last Whisper already done. So I think that's the item he's going to go for with that pickaxe. But we do have EG with that Baron buff, pushes the inhibitor down, and you still see, like, you've seen how cautious they are. They have Baron, they have 5 members, they have a GA on Yellow Pete, but with how much crazy damage Soaz can do, they're really hesitant to go for this.
Ooh, the wall comes out, the repel goes in. Soaz thought about coming in for that one. Cyanide taking a combo from Froggen, but it didn't do a crazy amount of damage. They do take down this inhibitor, and like you mentioned, if there happened to be a turret right there, that would have been a very, very tight fight, but they did hit and run, they got the inhibitor, and now they're going to turn and shove that top lane and push it in towards Fnatic's base.
It honestly blows my mind right there just to see how defensive and how passive Evil Geniuses was taking that inhibitor, because they have Baron buff. They're still relatively far ahead. They have a great set of items, they have a great engage if they need it, but they know that if they lose this game, if they make one slip up, they'll be out of the playoffs and Fnatic will take the series.
Yeah, it's so tight between them, of course. A lot of money on the line here. It's a $100,000 tournament. The spring playoffs. Of course, this is the first split of the tournament. Summer LCS will be beginning in the summer. Don't know the exact date. Sorry, guys. I'd love to be able to give you the details, but when I don't know them, there's no way you guys are going to know them. As it is, the walls coming out there, and again, they're pushing on towards that inhibitor in the top wave. We do see the cocoon land. It's Yellow Pete that got caught out, and he got chunked straight down half health instantly. Just that single little burst there. He has got the Guardian Angels, but you saw how dangerous it is if he can get caught out.
We have to point this out. I talked about it during the Copenhagen Wolves game and EG when we saw Froggen play Anivia. When his wall is down, look at Evil Geniuses play. They back off right away. Like, when his wall's up, they go in, they wall them off, they do some damage, but when it's down, Fnatic can get such a hard engage on so they can catch him off guard here.
Does get the poke. There's the wall. They see all the AD carries away from it, and again they get a couple of shots in. And
now they're
Yellow
back away.
Pete is still very low though, and this Wither coming down there. He's gonna and Rated almost locking him up there. Actually, you can see around the 2 AD carries. Chain of Corruption's missed now, and Fnatic back away, but they know they have a little bit of a time now. You can see the damage. Peke is putting down on towards Wicked. He's chunked down half his health as well. Those flubbery bits are flying, and now we're going to see Rated engaging. He dives on towards Froggen in the back there. The 2 AD carries. It's a great disruption coming out from Crepo though. He keeps them back. It's going to be N-Rated going down. The ultimate, the Zhonya's comes out from Soaz, tries to catch on towards them. The wall catches across them, but still, Fnatic, it's a 1-0 right now to Evil Geniuses, and it's Evil Geniuses are going to keep pushing on. Fnatic had to back away.
And the AD carries weren't being touched that entire fight. They were just sitting in the back line attacking as much as possible, getting Evil Geniuses very, very low. EG was able to pick up that turret, luckily for them, and it was only, like you said, a 1-0 trade for EG, but still, with a Baron up Evil Geniuses, that was an insanely close fight.
Very, very good dive there. They almost caught out. They locked onto Froggen, but it just wasn't enough damage. They couldn't get deep enough, and Rated went a little too deep for them, and the rest of Fnatic, they were just walled off. They just couldn't get to it. So, fantastic play, despite the fact Froggen was the one that was caught. Managed to get that wall out in time, knew the situation.
Yeah, it was a great job by both teams, to be honest, in that entire fight. But, you know, with that happening, they were not able to keep that inhibitor alive. So with 2 inhibitors down, it's going to be very hard for Fnatic to defend their base. They're going to have the bottom lane pushed up against them this entire time. We even see Froggen going for Randuin's himself. So that makes 3 for the entirety of Evil Geniuses. And then we see Stewie picking up another chain vest because they realize, like, that's the damage to us. Like, the AD carries are just ridiculously strong at this point. We have to stop. We have to shut them down. We have to stop them. And if Froggen, okay, this is the thing. If Froggen is using this wall defensively like that to stop the team from coming in, then it's not used ideally. Like, yeah, it helps. Like, they're able to kill Unrated, but they want to use it to catch the AD carries off guard or force them to blow their escapes, and they're not able to do that just yet.
Well, you also have Crepo. He's nearly got a Randian's Omen right now. So if the support's got a Randian's Omen, one of the most expensive items, if not the most expensive item in the game, is definitely going to be pretty strong support right now. Phantom Dance was also completed by Yellow Pete. And well, now we see the bottom wave, the only lane that has an inhibitor in it, as well as a tower, more importantly, for Fnatic. But they're going to have to deal with these two waves of super minions, and that is just going to pull people away from the fight.
Yes, this is where we're going to see what Fnatic's made of. They have to defend the top side and the middle side because of those super minions pushing in. Evil Geniuses, they can wait this out. There's no Baron to be taken. There's no Dragon to be taken. There's not in a hurry in any way. They can just sit there and wait for anyone of Fnatic to leave, and then they can take this turret very quickly. Fnatic, they might try to go for another engage because that last one was against a Baron up Evil Geniuses and still was relatively close.
Well, there's triple traps out there. I was going to get caught out. Of course, with all those Randian Omens, they're quite happy to just sit on them. See Froggen throwing out that ball of ice. He's trying to catch people out. So as he's trying to clear out that mid lane, but EG are knocking on the front door. They don't need no backdoor tactics right now. They're just shoving down Fnatic's throat, and you can see there's a huge wave of super minions pushing on towards the Nexus turret in the top lane. Somebody's going to have to deal with that. The wall goes down, and again, they just keep on shooting back and forth. Peke caught with a hail of arrows and the rupture there, and now it's going to be the inhibitor going to go down. Ace in the hole's going to come out. Yellow Star, well, Yellow Pete only half health going down, but it still doesn't mean he's going to get caught out. The inhibitor hasn't gone down, but EG, they've done what they needed to do. They've taken down that inhibitor turret, and now the Nexus turret, look at it, it's down to half health already. They don't know which way to fight.
And this is the Evil Geniuses that we knew in Season 2. Like, this is their area of expertise in the game of just drawn out game, just waiting, biding their time patiently to take an advantage whenever they can get it. And they're just sitting there, like they're not even in a hurry to take this inhibitor because they know that top lane is still pushing, the middle lane is still pushing. We do see Enraid engage.
And Enraid goes in, but he backs away straight away. There's his ultimate, and does manage to catch down. Yellowstar comes out, Chain of Corruption on towards Yellowstar. Will lock him up. Cyanides gets taken down. Creppo immediately getting the head, but pulverize on both Peke and Yellowstar there. Wicked dives in, doesn't quite get the damage down. The Valkyrie comes out, but the inhibitor will get taken down. And again, this time it's another 1-for-0. Cyanide going down, and Evil Geniuses, the middle inhibitor has respawned. They're going to take that one down, and we're going to see double super minions coming out from Evil Geniuses' base.
And look at that damage that Cyanide took right there. He just got caught up with that wall and just got blown up. And you saw Wicked actually dove into a trap, so he was like, ooh, a cupcake, and went straight for it, and unfortunately got caught down. We do see Wicked trying to go back in, but they need to back away. They have Expeke and Yellowstar still alive, and they can take them down.
They can take them down, and they can do a hell of a lot of damage. So Evil Geniuses, they've taken all of the base now of Fnatic. They are looking like they may well take this 1-1. And the pressure is almost certainly on. And it's a 6-item build for many members of the teams right now. And let's just look across them. You can see Infinity Edge, Phantom Dancer, Bloodthirst, the Static Shiv, and Last Whisper picked up by Peke. Full-on AD carry, no messing around, get straight in there, all about the damage. But it's Evil Geniuses that are starting off the Baron.
And did you say that Expeke actually had a Giant's Belt earlier? He did. So he sold it because he'd used it for that fight, sold it, and then picked up that Phantom Dancer. That's just ridiculous. Like, you don't really see AD carriers ever go this kind of 6-item ability anymore. They usually have one defensive item. You can look over ALP, and there's my case right there, but that is going to hurt so much. The thing is that they can't deal with the wall that Froggen's putting down. Luckily for them, they don't have to fight in any chokes now, so the walls have become less and less effective, and you see Froggen.
What is he doing? He's dancing. Oh, the taunts from Froggen right now. As he
Oh, no, what he's doing, okay, what he's doing is he's waiting on the blue buff because he wants his team to come. He wants that blue to last as long as possible, so when they actually go for the siege, they'll have that blue up the entirety of the time. And I said he does a little more taunting.
Yeah, he is taunting. So young, so naive. I can see a big smile on his face in the camera in the corner.
I think that's his wink to us that he didn't do earlier.
That's his wink that it turned into a blink. It didn't quite work out for him. But nevertheless, there's super minions going up the top, middle, and bottom, and they are double super minions shoving in there. Snoopy's starting to start clearing out the top wave, the bottom wave shoving itself, and Evil Geniuses are getting ready to finish the game.
And Yellowstar, he sold his boots and picked up a Zephyr. We see Creppa getting caught right now. Fnatic could take this game.
They dived in there. Chain of Corruption comes straight out, though, and the Hail of Arrows lands, and Soaz has had to use that Zhonya's Hourglass. There's so much damage coming out from Yellow Pete. He repels away. Cyanide gets popped out there. Soaz, he's got nothing to escape. He flashes through, but it's straight into the arms of Wicked. And now Enrage is being chased down. It's a double kill for Wicked. He's got both AD carries down. Fnatic are dropping, and it's going to be Evil Geniuses taking it to the third game against Fnatic. 16-5 in kills and a dominant performance after 52 minutes. The game was so close, but Evil Geniuses continue their dominance on blue side. Can they answer though on the red side? Will they pick up that win? Or Fnatic in the third game, could they take it? What a game.
That really is the question in the end. I mean, we had a 7,000 goal difference at the end right there when the entire lead was about 2,000 max the entire game. 52-minute long game. They have their work cut out for them in the next best of three, or sorry, the next match.